everybody, and welcome back to First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week we've got Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
What's up, dogs?
Hello, good sirs. How are you? How was your life this week?
I don't really know how to answer that.
The high's really high, the low's really low, everything's fine.
Yeah, pretty wild week. Pretty wild.
Have you guys seen the sky this week?
Yeah.
Been outside?
Maybe. I guess I was just outside, like, shoveling, but I didn't look at the sky at all, no. Take it for granted.
I feel like you're going to accidentally see the sky if you go outside.
Not if it's night.
I mean, sure.
Feel the sky.
I guess.
I saw the sun, so is that...
Sun's in the sky. That counts.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of Blown Away. You guys watch either season of Blown Away?
No.
No, I have not. That's the Netflix like glass blowing thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
is it a
right.
competition or like something else?
No, yeah, it's a typical like competition show. We got 10 of the world's best glass blowers, and they're gonna blow some glass. But
Are there
it's
more
great.
than 10 world's best glass blowers?
Apparently, there's 20 because they did 2 seasons. So,
It's exactly 20.
yeah, it's not very remarkable, other than like it's just a well done competition show because there's a lot of like slow motion shots of them working with glass, which is just like cool.
Nice.
And they explain a lot about what they're doing, which is what I wanted out of like Lego Masters. I wish there was more Lego in Lego Masters and like them explaining the techniques that they're using. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fun to like I guess learn more about from that. When you have such a like specific target, you know, of what they're doing in a show, it would be like go into it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I got all the glass blowing jargon now. Punties,
Nice.
glory holes. I know it all.
Wait. Never mind.
Jimmy wants to know what you mean by punties.
The punty is the long pipe that you put the glass on the end on and you blow into the pipe to blow up the glass. But then the glory
Is it
hole
long so
is
they
like,
don't? Is it long so they don't burn their mouths?
Yeah, exactly. Because then you also put the glass end into like this big giant furnace, and that's the glory hole.
Sure.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Sounds
now.
like a very Renfest terminology.
Well, I've been watching a little bit of a couple more episodes of The Man in the High Castle from last week.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
How you liking it?
It's pretty good. I've only watched 2 more, so I'm only going to start episode 4 because I was watching it late and I got sleepy, so I didn't keep going.
Nice.
But so far good. It's I didn't realize how much of the like German side guy of the John Smith there was going to be in the show. So I'm glad he's like actually main character already.
The Obergruppenführer.
Obergruppenführer. That's the one. Well, this isn't the world's most premier What Did We Watch podcast. It's a different kind of podcast. And what is that, Joe? What is First and Last about for any new viewers, listeners we have?
Each week we take a TV show and we watch the first episode, usually not knowing much going in. We just absorb that pilot. And then we make some predictions and skip right to the end and watch the last episode and see how we did in our predictions. And then we just judge the show as a whole. A show.
The whole show. It's really the premiere podcast of what we didn't watch. It's really the opposite of the whole intro.
Yeah,
you just
exactly. Exactly. throw that intro out of the way because today we ain't watching that part of the show. And I get to pick the show today. And actually, this was another listener suggestion that I had. If you did it, you know who you are.
You know what you did.
It is, you know what you've done. We're going to dive into Fuller House today.
Oh, Fuller House.
Yeah, the house is not just full. It's fuller.
Did we do Full House? We had to.
We did. We did Full House about 36 episodes ago.
Oh, that's not that long ago.
So it was episode 141 when we did Full House. That would have been 36 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. I guess it doesn't sound like a long time, but
we were still in the pandemic. So these are both within pandemic. So maybe that doesn't help with time.
Pandemic
because time doesn't flow within the pandemic.
Right. All right. Have you guys seen any of Fuller House?
I'm trying to think if I have seen the pilot or not. Like I have some vague familiarity with it, but I don't know if I've actually seen an episode or if I've just seen clips. I was definitely aware of it when it came out and I was not interested, but then I heard from people who had watched it that they were like, you know what? Not bad. Not bad show.
Well, we'll be the judge of that today. I walked into someone's place and they were like, "Oh, I'm finishing up this Fuller House episode," and so I've seen maybe 15 minutes of some episode. I just assume if you like Full House, you probably just like Fuller House. That's kind of my assumption of this. I bet it's just that exact cheesy family humor. Mm-hmm. Very safe, almost absolutely nothing edgy about it at all.
I've definitely seen the pilot of this because my wife put it on and she watched the whole thing. I did not
all
care
of
to
it?
continue. Yeah. I
did not realize that this went for 5 whole seasons.
Oh wait, it did? Oh, maybe she didn't watch all of it.
I don't see. That's why I'm asking, because the last season, Jimmy, the last half of the season, I think probably the last 9 episodes, came onto Netflix on June of 2020.
No, she
so
probably
did you?
Let's be honest.
Did your wife watch this this summer? Because that was when it was on.
It's possible.
Yeah, 5 seasons, 75 episodes of.
She just watched all of NCIS. You know how many seasons that show is?
You could have told me it was still going.
It is still
That's
going.
How many I think there are.
It is still going.
17?
I think it's on season 17 now or something.
Oh, see how 17.
I'll look it up.
I'm a good number
positive.
guesser. Oh, well. Way to get my hopes up. What is there you think going in? What's why is this show happening now? Does
anyone cash them checks?
I meant storyline, not that some exec was I bet I can make money like this.
Well, I think one non-storyline thing is I think everybody was involved except for the Olsen twins. Is that true?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I can see that. I mean, Bob Saget will be in this for sure, right? He not maybe reoccurring by any means, but
I think you're right. I think it's everybody but the Olsen twins, and I'm pretty sure there's some tongue-in-cheek jokes about it.
Mm-hmm.
That they wouldn't do it. Some breaking of the fourth wall, perhaps.
So if not Olsen twins, then I guess I would figure it's about either Stephanie or DJ Tanner's families, and that they kind of have a Danny Tanner situation going on. Maybe it's a Danny Tanner curse or something, where you have a bunch of kids and then your spouse dies.
One of their husbands died in a car crash in the same spot Danny's wife died.
Yeah. It's just a Tanner family curse.
and they'll find out that it was a car bomb by the same person who killed Monk's wife.
Oh man. Open the present. By the
yeah,
way,
I assume like there's a bunch of kids. That's what makes the house full. They should have called it like Straight Flush or something.
just become card jokes.
Yeah.
I just hope John Stamos sings something.
Oh, he's gotta.
I don't remember, but I season 18? I think they're in season 18 now.
Oh, we're back to NCIS?
We never left. I just want to make sure I don't, get any ats for my screwing up NCIS.
I would say I wouldn't be
Don't
surprised
add us.
if Uncle Jesse sings something in either the first or the last episode. I'd be willing to stake some points on that for sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's over.
I can't believe it's
Fuller House?
restarted. So
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the big, I feel like the big like nostalgia train, like let's power up the old hits.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so smart.
so smart. All right, well, hey,
Make
why don't
that
we
money.
should we just get into the first episode and see which one of the girls has kids and got Danny tannered so this can keep going? First episode is called Our Very First Show Again. Clever.
Because that was the Full House title.
I believe that was the Full House one as well. Clever. So, all right, well, let's watch that, and we'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the first episode of Fuller House. I believe it was called Our Very First Show Again. Jimmy, do you have a write-up?
I do. It was, and I do. The Tanner and Katsopoulos families, except Michelle, who is busy with her fashion career, reunite for the first time before the family home is sold. However, they realize that newly widowed DJ is struggling to cope with the demands of raising 3 boys and holding down a full-time job as a veterinarian. Originally, Danny, Joey, Becky, and Jesse decide to stay. However, Stephanie decided that it was time to was her turn to move with her sister alongside Kimmy, who has always been with DJ ever since they were young. So yeah, basically, it was just a big reunion. A lot of callbacks to the original show.
Oh my God, it was like the greatest hits. Like,
It really
was like, remember this? Remember this? Remember this?
Literally, scene 1 is Bob Saget standing up from behind like the weird like island kitchen island thing, and then just applause for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
they
so
did that
much.
for all of like the older crew cast. Everyone like was like, "Is this filmed? Do we know? Is this filmed in front of a live studio audience?"
Yeah. Yeah, every
I
time that there
guess
was
so.
an old joke or catchphrase done again, there was wild applause and laughter.
I feel like there's no way it was actually a live studio audience because there was a lot of things that were edited. So, like there was a whole dance sequence to the New Kids on the Block dance sequence. There's no way they did that live.
Was that a reference to a Full House episode, or do they just want to have a dance sequence?
I wonder if they did that exact dance.
I would not be surprised one bit if that was the exact dance that they did at some point. Yeah, I mean, like the beginning of this episode was like, I feel like it was like the first like 5 or 10 minutes was just like, hey, remember all these all the older cast members? You remember that you loved Full House? Like, greatest hits joke, greatest hits joke, greatest hits joke. And then after they went literally from like oldest to newest, essentially. And like right at the end, it was like, this is Baby Tommy. And then it was like the actual introduction hit. Because the show even started with the part of the original Full House.
Oh, right.
Like theme song. That's how it like went right into it.
Long enough that I thought, did I play the wrong show?
Yeah, right?
I did too. I paused. I went back and made sure.
Like, wait a minute. I thought, I was like, no, stay strong. You did the right thing. It just felt like a old school Full House show that, looked a little better because of the nicer cameras. And they were just like, haha, you like this, don't you? Like, that was kind of the feeling I was getting out of this whole thing. This is funny. Like, we know you like it.
Yeah, it was my impression of this first episode, at least, is that it's exactly like what it was supposed to be. Like, just pitch perfect and callbacks and wooing and it was terrible, but like it's like exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much of this that like makes me want to rip my eyeballs out, but I'm just like, would I want anything else from a Full House reboot? I don't think so.
If it like felt drastically different, you'd be like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah. Like,
it's
this
like
is just
when you're watching.
is.
Yeah, when you're watching like this parody of itself almost, like to a point, you're like, oh God, why am I watching this? But then if they would have like made it completely different or changed up the formula, you'd have been like, why am I watching this? This isn't Full House.
Exactly. Like, it's fan service for fan service sake, but otherwise, why else are you watching a show called Fuller House? Like, if you wanted a different TV show, watch any other TV show on Netflix.
Right. Yeah, it's literally the exact same formula. It's cheese upon cheese, and then like 5 seconds of like real world like drama, like single mom is scared and you're like, oh God, I accidentally felt something for a second, and then right back to cheese. It's classic Fuller House.
Yeah, it's cheese plus like nostalgia, which I think is like a powerful junk food.
That's what the people want.
They do get to utilize the fact that everybody going into the show knows all of these characters well. And so they didn't have to they can just go. I think this episode is like 35 minutes long. So they can go 33 minutes of just heavy cheese and then a minute and a half of like seriousness peppered just throughout. And you're immediately like, oh, I care now. And you're like, God, but I hate this. But I care. They don't have to do much work for that part.
Yeah. There's like a second act to this show, maybe, where they're introducing the new kids, right? Who's going to be the new DJ and Steph and Kimmy, basically from the old show, where they set up DJ's kids with who are Jackson and Max, and the baby Tommy, and then Kimmy's daughter Ramona, who doesn't know that they are moving into this house. and Ramona and like the boys don't really get along, and it's just gonna be great. and then DJ's like high school flame is still around, and obviously that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive that literally everybody that was in this original show, besides like the Olsen twins, were like, yeah, we'll do this.
Yeah, and apparently Aunt Vicky, because Danny Tanner had a new wife.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the same lady. They didn't really dwell on that. They were like,
they
move
didn't.
along.
They were just like, hello, Mrs. Tanner, you're a person I'm married to. Let's make that clear. Moving along.
Huh.
Exactly. They also did that thing that I think remakes or reboots like to do, and that's just go, oh, so it was the uncles this time? All right, now it's the aunts. You know, like they switched it up, so it's not Uncle Jesse and them. Now it's Kimmy and Stephanie. And then it's like, oh, you had...
And boys and not girls.
You had daughters. Now we've got boys. Like, just like, that makes it different enough.
Yeah.
I didn't notice they did it twice, though.
Curse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get widowed. Someone's about to murder your spouse if you get married as a Tanner. This time, it seems like Fire murdered her husband.
Yeah, he was a fireman.
Yeah.
So when Jackson grows up, and in like 20 years, we're going to get another new reboot, and his wife's going to be dead.
Yeah. It's like on your third child's first birthday. It's when the curse kicks in.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's about accurate.
I'd watch that. But then it's going to be like a horror series. From then on. It's just The Grudge in San Francisco.
I want to like make fun of so many things in this show, but it's just like, it's just Full House. I don't, you know,
You
it's like,
said yeah.
I was just saying, like, Uncle Jesse sang forever in this show. Like, of course he did,
Right.
because that's what like returning customers wanted to hear.
Yeah.
They did the,
Which makes
they
me
did
think.
I was gonna say they did the Flintstones song too. Gosh,
Oh, right.
Yeah, and like showed it side by side with like the last time they sang the Flintstones song in the original show,
yeah.
which I think may have been in the pilot. I don't remember.
I would vote
Yeah.
probably pilot because Michelle was like a tiny baby, so
Yeah.
so probably.
And I feel like they made a big deal of how like the uncles come in and they're like, okay, we're gonna stay and help, and you're like, yes, this is what I want, all the characters. But then Stephanie and Kimmy are like, now we got this. So like, are the uncles gonna be in this show ever again? Like, maybe not. Maybe they had to get out all their nostalgia things in 35 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume for the most part that all of the like adults from the original, like Danny, Jesse, like, you know, all of them, they're all gone for the majority of the show. There's 75 episodes. I bet maybe in this last episode we see them all together again. But besides that, I bet it's like Uncle Jesse and Rebecca are visiting this week in one of the seasons. And it's like maybe we get each one of them 1 to 2 more times. You know? Because I think now, starting in episode 2, is when they make a show that feels very silly, exactly the same as Full House did, but now with building this like a little bit of its own identity with just the ladies.
Yeah, that was a part that interests me, that, you know, we'd spent this whole first episode just leaning so hard on nostalgia, and like you can see it building up to, okay, they're all here for this party, but they're all gonna stay to help out DJ. But yeah, then when Kimmy and Stephanie like stood up and like were like, you old people gotta go, I was just like, oh, that's like interesting, because now like going into episode 2, like maybe there's less nostalgia, and like maybe a lot of the wooing and clapping in this first episode was just to kind of get it out of the way.
Right. It could have been. It's also, you know, this is a Netflix show, so there's not like that threat of waiting a week for people to think about the fact that, oh, Danny Tanner's not going to be in the next 5 episodes. It's just going to roll right into the second episode. It's obviously I'm going to watch it. It was only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. So you're still sticking with you still got the nostalgia in your head, even though you're not seeing them anymore a little bit in your first couple episodes. Then you go, this still feels like Full House, and then you keep going, and then you watch 5 seasons.
By then you like the new characters and you're just rolling.
Yeah.
Smart.
Which
Yeah,
I
I'm
am
wondering if
interested
this-
in. Yeah, just like I am way more interested in what's going on with DJ Stephanie and Kimmy than I am in like whatever old ass Uncle Jesse's up to.
His Vegas comedy routine. Oh no, that's
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. At that, I mean, dad jokes are funny, but like, man, yeah, I don't need to watch another whole series with 3 dad joke guys throwing around stuff.
We need mom jokes.
Yeah, now we're gonna get some mom jokes.
You get Steph's boob jokes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Can we just really quick, like, the dress that Stephanie wore to just a family party in their in their living room? What is she wearing when she's going out with the ladies? Like, booby tassels?
Booby
Yeah.
tassels. Probably, yeah.
Because
Just the tassels.
she was
She said
just for
she told
for
the
a
baby
family
that
event, I'm
Dairy
just saying.
Queen was closed. Did you catch
That's
that?
that's what she calls her boobs, Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and then they
yeah.
also, I guess the other fun quip, I think you mentioned that they probably did it, but that whole, like, Michelle is off with her fashion empire, and they all of them looked at the camera for, like, what, 10 seconds?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot longer
Like, it
than
was
necessary.
It was a really long time.
But it was
Yeah.
like a jab and a fourth wall thing because that's what they're actually doing, right? The twins.
Yep. What was Michelle supposed to be doing at the end of this? She going off to be a fashion person? That'd be fun if it worked in all
I don't remember.
aspects.
Was she even in Full House by the end? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure she
Yeah.
was.
Michelle?
I can't. She was? Okay.
Michelle, definitely. I mean, yeah. All in all, just this. It's Full House.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into Full House, you should keep watching this show. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, do you guys have any extra thoughts about this first episode?
Yeah, my last thought is that this pilot like kind of weirdly felt like a finale because everyone was talking about like all the stuff that they were moving on to and like their new jobs and they're all leaving the
Oh, yeah.
house, they're selling the house. Just like there's a lot of like finale tropes in this that I was just like, I don't know, it was interesting. Like, and thinking that we didn't get that at the end of actual Full House. They didn't leave the house or anything. It was just like
Right.
one last episode.
Well, they knew 25 years in the future they were going to need that house still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
in a
kinda
way,
true.
it kind of felt like a finale for the older cast.
Yeah. Totally. And then a really small pilot to the new cast.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's left. Yeah, that's interesting.
I think that's what you need for something like this. This needs to run on nostalgia first to get you into the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thrown like 3 little new kids running around making new kid jokes without like Danny Tanner. I would have been like, shut up, new kid. Where's Danny Tanner?
Yeah. I have one last thing. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Rebecca's line at the end. So Rebecca is like obsessed with baby Tommy and asking Jesse if they can have another baby, and he makes some joke about semen or something. Seamen. Anyway, so at the end, she picks up Tommy and she's like, "Oh, we can babysit anytime, and I'll just give him back when it's time to pay for college." Which she went to jail this like last year, I'm pretty sure, for bribing USC to getting her kids in. Do you guys know about this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. I was like, I feel like I'm getting nothing back over here. So she makes this line about how not wanting to pay for college, for this kid's college, and that's like one of the last lines of this show. And my mouth was just dropped.
I mean, I feel like that's just one of those like,
Hilarious.
oh, well, time caught up with you, and that was not meant to be as funny as that is now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
I
sure
just
when
wonder-
read the script. She wasn't like, oh man, in like 2 years someone's gonna be really mad at me for what I'm about to do.
Maybe it's where she got the idea.
Yeah.
That, or like I want to go back and pause and just see if I can see any remorse in her eyes, any guilt.
She just like looks at the camera real
just
quickly.
Winks.
Just mouths, I'm sorry. Oh.
Yeah,
But-
she went to jail for a couple months because she's rich. So like
Yeah.
$500,000 bribe is not a big deal. I guess I read that her and her husband had to pay a like $1 million bail, and I'm pretty sure USC kept that money.
Yeah. They're just like, how dare you? Also, thank you.
Yeah, your kids can stay. Please leave.
So we ready to dive into predictions then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. The
Nice.
little baby Tommy is like the new Michelle. So I think that, 5 seasons. So he's like 5 years old by now. I think he's got his own like Michelle catchphrase. Like, you got it, dude.
Nice.
So yeah, little Tommy has a catchphrase.
Like sure thing, pal, or something.
Like, yeah, bruh. It's just the 2020 version of it.
He's a little Paul Walker, like the reincarnation of Paul Walker.
Yeah, he's back
Aw.
in pog form. I think that Max, which is the middle child, has like a wild growth spurt. Because I think he's probably about 13 or so. So it's just like he's like 7 feet tall and has a weird mustache.
So you think he's just like a tall noodle now?
Yeah, just super uncomfortable in his own body.
Oh my gosh.
I think in a moment of character development, I think someone touches Uncle Jesse's hair, and he's like actually okay with it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Growth.
Yeah, you gotta show some growth by the finale here. And then I think in the finale we see at least 5 hugs. I'm putting it at 5. 5 or more
Okay.
hugs. They're a hugging family.
Equal or greater to. Greater than. Nice.
All right. Well, here's the deal. So, Joe, you seem to focus on the children.
Mm-hmm.
I focused on the ladies,
Oh.
and more accurately, I focused on the ladies' relationships. So I'm just gonna get it out of the way. There's a wedding for sure in this episode. I'm not even betting. I'm not even taking that point, because there's definitely a wedding. But what I think is happening is I think DJ and Steve are together. I think Kimmy and her ex-husband Fernando are back together.
I'd like to see that.
I think-
He's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. They made pretty solid light of the fact that he obviously like cheated on her multiple times while they were married.
Yeah, that's true.
I
forgot.
And then I think Stephanie and a yet unnamed DJ are married. I don't know how I'm going to find out that this
like
person are together. I mean, yeah.
another musician or another.
Yeah.
You're saying
like
another DJ.
Yeah, like
okay.
another DJ. Not like she's like in a relationship with her sister DJ. Like
Right.
the vocation or hobby of being a DJ. She's together with somebody like that. So I think those are my first 3 predictions, that those 3 main character ladies are married or together of somewhat with those 3 different types of people. And then number 4, I modified it slightly, but I believe there's a blimp or a hot air balloon in this episode.
Ooh.
Or a hot air balloon.
Hey, what is a hot air balloon but a smaller blimp in
I
reality?
guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
come at me if
inflatable
you think
flying.
that's not. Yeah. It's an inflatable flying balloon that people ride in.
Any
Essentially the
round
same thing.
cloth that lifts off the ground.
That's right. So
Yeah.
those are my 4.
All right. Okay, nice.
3 relationships
mine-
and a balloon.
Nice. I have a couple plot things, and I have a couple silly things. I think number one, that there is one last Michelle jab, that she's still not around, and they make a reference to it. I think we get some Jesse and the Rippers like full band action. None of this like was he playing with like a was he like mariachi? What was
Yeah, they're
what
like
was-
unplugged.
yeah.
The
it's
Rippers Unplugged.
Full, like garage rocking out. Then I think we have, I'm not sure how old these kids are, but after 5 years, I think Jackson is graduating high school, and that's a plot point. And I think that Ramona is graduating high school. I have those separately, but I think they're the same age.
Yeah, I kind of figure they're the same age.
I
see.
want to think that. So either one of them are, or they both are. That's all I
Is
got.
that all? That's all of them? All right. Well, let's see how we did. We're going to watch this final episode of Fuller House. It's called Our Very Last Show Again. Clever.
Of course.
Yep.
Should have predicted that.
Well, you missed it. Now you know. All right, so we're going to watch that, and we'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the last episode of Fuller House. Was it called Our Last Episode Again? Or something?
Our Very Last
Our Very
Show
Last
Again.
Show Again. Do you have a write-up, Jimmy?
Sure do. Right. For a second I was confused because the dates are the same on the last episodes. That's because it's Netflix, not normal TV. Okay. After the rehearsal dinner, Jimmy begs the guys to leave before midnight, as it is believed to be bad luck to see the bride before the wedding. As midnight strikes, the clan becomes paranoid. DJ assures Jimmy that there will be no curse and not to worry. Upon arriving to the wedding venue the next day, the girls learn it has been seized by the government. They decide to have the wedding at home. Bad luck continues when the minister must cater to high-profile guests. Danny and Joey search for other officiants, including Gia, Matt, Larry. Are these people supposed to know? Taylor, Max's best friend and enemy father, who has also known to have a crush on DJ, and Derek, Michelle's childhood friend. As Jackson's
a lot of those people that they
Yeah.
were testing were childhood friends of the kids. Like I had remembered like Stephanie's friend and Michelle's friend.
Yeah, okay.
You'd assume they
That's kinda what I
probably
thought.
were around for like a couple episodes here and there, maybe. Like,
Mhm.
hey guys,
Yeah, recurring characters
check
from
in
Full
on-
House.
want to check in on Stephanie?
Call everybody up. Who can we get? As Jackson's ex-girlfriend Lola shows up, Rocky becomes upset when Jackson doesn't introduce her as his girlfriend. As Ramona scoffs at Jackson, her ex-boyfriend Popko shows up. Frantic, Ramona fails to introduce Popko to her boyfriend Ethan. Jackson makes up with Rocky and tells her he loves her. As the wedding approaches, how old do you think Jackson is in this? And Rocky, because that part
Well, I mean,
weirded me out.
if Jackson was supposed to be around the same age as Ramona, in my mind, Ramona was getting like her own apartment.
Oh,
Yeah, it seemed like she
Didn't
was
that
moving
seem
out
like
on her
it?
own. Yeah.
okay. Well, okay.
So 18.
Maybe it's not as weird then. As the wedding approaches, wedding guests appear, including Matt, Gia, CJ, and Rose, and Dwayne, Viper, and Vicky, who is still friends with Danny. The girls are shocked upon learning Danny was able to get Joey McIntyre to officiate the wedding.
Who's that?
Of New Kids on the Block fame.
Ah, got it.
As Stephanie, Jimmy, Danny, Kimmy, Fernando, and Ramona all prepare to move out, they ask DJ if they can all stay, to which she approves. Stephanie reveals she is pregnant. The end. Nobody's leaving.
Did anyone else with about 4 minutes left in this episode out loud say, man, this really feels like a finale? And then everyone walked right back in and went, we're staying. And I went, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Because I literally think I did that.
Yeah, well, they got to be able to reboot.
Also, did you find it funny? I giggled right at the end because when everybody walked back in, as if all the I was gonna say sisters, but DJ, Stephanie, and Kimmy and all their families all walked back in as if hey guys, we can stay. Also, Uncle Jesse and Danny Tanner walked back in too. As I was wait a minute, what?
Uncle Joey and Danny.
Joey.
Uncle
sorry.
Jesse was nowhere.
Yeah, he was like, no, I'm done. I'm John Stamos. You didn't pay me for this day.
Yeah, he came, he gave his toast at the wedding, and he was out. Shooting commercials for Geico or something.
Yeah, and Becky wasn't there. Becky's busy.
Becky's busy. In jail.
Oh God, yeah, right. I mean, overall, up until right at the kind of comical end, and it really didn't ruin much for me at all. But I was like, yeah, this feels like a good finale.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, they went hard at the finale, right? Not just one wedding, but three weddings.
Three. Yeah, they said, fuck your wedding.
Yeah.
We're having
all
three.
of our main characters are getting married.
Oh, man. In the backyard of the titular house.
That happened in the finale of Full House, right? They had a wedding in the backyard.
No.
Did Danny get...
The finale...
Wasn't
I
the finale? Oh, wait. Oh, that was the Michelle Rides Again one.
Yeah,
right?
I looked it up to see if it had the same title of our very last show, and it wasn't. It's Michelle Rides Again, where Michelle gets amnesia from falling off her horse and doesn't remember her family.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What if they would have brought one of the Olsen sisters back to fall off a horse in the last one of this one? No.
Oh man.
They get married. Someone gets married in the backyard, though, right? In Full House.
Probably.
I think someone else gets married in the backyard. I think that does happen.
Who would it have been? Maybe Uncle Jesse?
It could have been Jesse, Joey, or Danny. They were all single the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Joey ever gets married.
No, that doesn't sound right. I would guess Danny, but maybe not.
But, I mean, right. I mean, it's kind of funny that the episode starts off and we're all getting married. It's going to be great. Let's go to the venue, kind of thing. And it's oh, it's closed. We'll solve that problem in 3 seconds. And then there wasn't really ever more than, 2 to 3 minutes straight where there was a real issue in this whole thing. It was very lighthearted, very good. I feel like they had that Jackson and Ramona, with apparently their exes coming in to act silly around their new boyfriend girlfriends, as in they were we need to teach a lesson this episode. We're lessonless, guys. We need one. And that was that because it was 2 scenes later they fully fixed that problem. Right. Even it was nothing.
Yeah, that was wrapped up real fast.
Yeah. So, yeah, I literally noted, I was did they need an episode lesson for this one? And they just threw that in really quick. And then wedding. Jimmy, How'd you like that wedding music?
Because it was Bright Eyes. It was some random person singing Bright Eyes. And were we supposed to know? It was Lisa
That
Loeb.
lady.
Okay.
That lady
had the
looked
glasses,
familiar.
but
Okay, yeah. I was like, I know who that lady is.
When she showed up, I was like, Claire's in the other room, and I said, I think that's Lisa Loeb. And she was like, how do you know? I was like, well, it's like a woman in glasses playing guitar, and I feel like that is trademarked.
There's a copyright on that.
Her or like Ingrid Michaelson.
No, Ingrid pays royalties to Lisa Loeb.
I would. That's believable.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. I was able to like. There's usually a website that I look up that's usually pretty good for music for shows, but it didn't have who actually performed it.
I saw her in the
nice.
end credits. Guest star, yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I think it's funny. I mean, maybe it's for us having grown up when we did and like the music we listened to, but like obviously all of us have listened to plenty of Bright Eyes. And I just remember like when we were like later 20s and our friends were getting married, I feel like that was half of my friends' wedding songs. And so I'm like, somebody that just like is super into Full House is watching the show and going like, this is such a pretty song, like potentially. And I'm like, ugh, overdone.
Yeah, as soon as the opening chords hit and you're just like, oh, first time in my life, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, okay, cool. Listen to the rest of them album, you ingrates. Come on now.
What if they did pick just like another random song from On Wide Awake It's Morning, just like with the whole intro about the plane crash or whatever.
It's your birthday, darling. Happy birthday.
We love you very, 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 very,
See,
very,
if Fuller
much.
House ended it and everyone died in a plane crash, excellent finale.
Tanner curse lives on.
Yeah, that would be if only one
this
person
this
died,
show
and
really
it was Jimmy Gibbler. because Stephanie, they already have one kid and she's pregnant with another, right?
Yeah, so she's the one on the way to getting Jimmy Gibbler
he's gonna
to
die
get killed
in the next reboot.
Yeah.
They need one. They need the year anniversary of their third born. He's dead.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Oh man, that guy's name is Jimmy
course it
Gibbler.
is.
Also, is Jimmy Gibbler a character for
in
real?
Full House? I don't
Like,
think so.
was he? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I feel
I
like
didn't think
that's
so.
got to be new to this one,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. I was paying so much attention that whole time. I'm like, is he gonna like mention being a DJ? Come on, do it.
I don't think he's a DJ.
I don't think so either. The minute I found out he was a Gibbler, I was like, oh, that's over.
I don't think there's room for 3 DJs in this show.
Yeah, I feel like overall good episode. I think the only thing that felt really weird to me was that like one scene where all the kids were in what seemed like Ramona's new apartment.
I thought that was a bedroom in the
It
house.
was like couple.
It was confusing.
Maybe. Yeah, right.
Because
what did you think?
What they did in that scene was they showed, like going into that scene, the B-roll was of like San Francisco, and like more of the city, and not like the house that we typically see. And then they went into that room, and it was like this maroon room that we've never seen before that was empty, and she's like carrying a box. So yeah, I thought the same thing too. That was her like new apartment or something.
Yeah,
but then
me
that
too.
scene ends and they like walk downstairs and I'm like, oh, was that just one of the rooms in the house that was painted different?
Yeah, I thought it was just a weird time change then. And I was like, oh, they're still like wearing the same clothes that they were, but they like, you know, they all came back. But then I was like, why would all the kids be together with no adult? So maybe it was just the house, but they made it seem to me, and maybe it's just because it's the finale and we didn't have any context, but it made me seem like Ramona was moving out on her own was the plan up until the end when all the families are now not leaving at all.
Yeah, I was totally on the same thought process that you had there,
I'll ask
Okay.
my wife.
but I don't know.
What was Ramona up to? Fill us in.
What are your guys' thoughts on the finale though? Was it do you think it held up to the Full House name? Was it a good finale?
I kind of hated that they all came back. But I mean, like they were all headed out, and then the last 30 seconds they all come back. I don't know. It kind of bothered me.
Oh, that they
I
all
mean-
moved back into the house. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
should've
didn't like
just
it as
burned
much
it
either,
to the ground.
to be honest. I thought they should have left. But why would they have done that, you know?
Yeah. It is the house. You can't leave the house. It's like the number one character.
Yeah, it is. It's so full.
Soup's full.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was fine. It also was a miles better finale than the Full House finale where
Right, yeah.
Michelle has amnesia.
If that's our gauge.
At least it felt like a finale.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I guess you are right there, Joe. It was definitely miles better than the Full House
Like,
finale.
you know, everybody gave speeches. Like, we got to see the vows, and like each of the dad characters gave toasts.
No
Like,
clip show.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think. Did anyone else feel bad for like Stephanie, who her dad didn't walk her down the aisle, her uncle did, because her dad walked her other sister down the aisle?
Yeah, I thought about that too. That like, oh,
I just thought if
you
you're
get
a
Joey.
big
Okay.
family person, you know, and you're so into that tradition stuff, then it was like just a little bit of her inner subconscious as that character for real went, I got my uncle, not my dad.
Well, and Kimmy.
Yeah.
So does Kimmy? Do we find out at some point that she was just a homeless orphan? That because she also got walked down by an uncle. Where's her family?
I mean, who cares? It's Kimmy, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Come on,
she's
man.
weird. She's fine.
But still, though. I just hope that she was.
It's also her second wedding to this same
Yeah,
dude, right?
right. Maybe the parents wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's not like it's yeah. Him again. Pass, Kimmy. We
What about his family? No one is there to witness the Gibbler marriage. Nobody cares about this.
Just Jimmy.
Yeah, I suppose. It's the only
Yeah,
family.
Jimmy cares.
Yeah.
He's also getting married that day.
Jim Gibb.
The old Jim Gibb.
Jim
Kim,
Gibb.
Jib and Gibb. What is it? Kim Gibb, Jim Gibb.
I mean, is there much more to say about this? I guess I don't. You know, it's just like this is still very Full House. Even this episode felt
Yeah.
very Full House to me. It ended better than regular Full House. If you like Full House, watch this show.
Yeah.
That's
It's exactly what it should be. And it's perfect and terrible.
Yeah, don't mess with the formula, you know?
It is
And
hot
they don't
garbage,
seem-
and you're gonna love it.
Yeah. Nostalgic, just great nostalgia, hot garbage. Yeah.
That's the Latin. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So predictions. We
That's
just
right.
do that now. Prediction time.
Mm-hmm.
Who went first? Was it Joe?
I went
Was it
first.
Jimmy?
I had that
Okay.
Tommy has a catchphrase, and the kid did talk, but he all he said was like, "We're gonna miss you, Ramona," which I don't think is a catchphrase.
Got it. I hope we find out that it was his
He spoke
catchphrase.
he spoke like very terribly for how old he looked. He looked like 4. He can definitely say more
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, and it was definitely like they edited together a few shots to get that one line out.
It's probably hard to get a kid to just say what you want him to say, though.
Yeah.
And I assume they're
He's
pretty
like 5.
committed
I
to
mean,
that
come on.
kid. You know?
The next one I had was that Max has a wild growth spurt, and to be honest, like Max had shown up and he like fixed the pillow or something. I was like, that kid is huge. He's way different. Like that's a growth spurt. But then I realized that was actually Jackson and not Max. Because then Max had a line after that, and I was like, oh, that kid looks exactly the same. So no, I'd put a no for that.
Yeah, no. Max was barely taller than he was in the first episode.
Grown.
He was a little. No, he grew. He has grown, but I would have expected him to be taller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said that someone touches Uncle Jesse's hair, and that didn't come true. Everyone was very respectful of his personal space. There's even a part like when there's like a montage of speeches, and like Joey and Danny do their toasts from just like, you know, in the crowd, just like, you know, giving a toast. But like Uncle Jesse was like standing on a platform,
got up on a table
in front of everybody.
I saw you.
Yeah, he was like on a table.
John Stamos said, "I'll do the speech, but put me on a table."
Yeah, I definitely felt like that, where he's just like, listen, if everyone's focus is going to be on me, I got to be taller than anyone, right? And they're just like, okay, stand on this then.
It's very in character.
It was weird. Yeah. And then my last one was at least 5 hugs.
Oh,
and
so many.
It was slow to start. Because like at the wedding, like there's very like many like close hugs, but no one actually going in for a hug. Is just like a little kiss or something. But once we started to get to the ending, like I stopped counting at 8 just because everybody was hugging everybody and
full
crying.
on full cast hug, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's a group hug. The group hug was like number 5. And then there was more after that, and I was like, well, yeah.
Nice.
So definitely at least 5 hugs. I got that one.
I'm glad you were counting because I definitely was not.
I was looking for him.
Was that all?
That was it for me. So 1 point total.
1 point. All right. Well, I was close. I did pretty okay. My first prediction was DJ and Steve are together. They got married.
Got it.
So that counts. My second prediction was Kimmy and Fernando were together. They got married. So that counts. Second one was Stephanie and a yet unnamed DJ are together. I do not think Jim Gibb was a DJ. So unfortunately, that did not work out. And my eyes were on the horizon, but I never saw a blimp or a hot air balloon. So, but I will take 2 points.
Not bad.
For calling 2 loves.
I don't think there was a one last jab at Michelle in this whole episode.
I didn't
really
catch one.
Listening for it, but I feel like we would know.
I remembered to start listening for that like halfway through, but I was like, I
did see.
heard
so
it,
Michelle obviously was played by twins, Mary Kate and Ashley. Tommy was played by twins as well, so that's fun. Like, I mean, you got to, right?
Sure.
With babies, it's probably just a normal happenstance, I guess.
Yeah, this one's crying. Go get the other one.
This one poops. Stop the scene. There was no rippers. That would have been a great like band at the after the wedding.
Yeah, rippers. Playing.
Honestly, when this episode started and we were like triple wedding, I was like, Jimmy's got ripper money all over this place.
Yeah. And no one was graduating high school, so I got a big old goose egg this week.
Well, that's no good for you. All right. That is it, I guess. That is Fuller House. We're done watching Full Houses. There's not any more spin-offs or anything that we need to watch down the line, is there?
Fullest House.
Is it? Yeah, Fullest House. Miniseries coming 2021. That's fine. Yeah, let's hope not. Listeners, if you want to give us suggestions like this lovely individual did today with Fuller House, you can too on hit us up at FNL Podcast on the Gmail or on the Twitters. We actually have a couple other show suggestions by some listeners as well that we're going to get to in the next couple weeks. So if you want to be part of it, feel free to hit us up. Also, when you're listening, this podcast app that you're on, hit subscribe. Hit the number of stars that you feel we are valued at in your mind. If it's 1, that's fine. If it's 5, you're lying. It's probably at least just 4. So like just hit 1 to 4 stars. All right, that'd be great. But until then, do that while you wait for next week. Next week is another episode. We'll be back. We'll see you then. Goodbye.